All right, everyone. So I just wanted to let you know I created these categories, right? And this one says creating art at home. And above this, it will say Pixlr projects. And that's where all of your work will be and all of your projects will be posted for you guys to be working on at home. As of right now, the web app that we're going to be using is Pixlr, and that is what the first project is focusing on. So I don't want to post it now because I don't want you guys to see it and start working on it until I'm actually ready to send it out. But again, here it says category. So you're going to be signing into your Google Classroom, going to classwork, and the top category will say Pixlr projects. When you click on Pixlr projects, you will see this one, which is creating a landscape using Pixlr. Remember, when you guys do this, I like you to click View Assignment because it allows you to see all documents. And then after clicking View Assignment, click on the document that you want. It would be this particular document. And inside of that is the YouTube video, right, which you are watching, and it's located right here. And then these are the directions that we're going to be going through right now. What you guys are going to do is very similar to the Photoshop world. I figure I start off with Photoshop World at the beginning of a semester or a quarter as a great review. It gives you guys confidence to understand or remember Photoshop again. So I thought, let's start back with the basics using a web app at home where you're not going to have that classroom support where I can walk around and help you. So we're going to do similar to Photoshop World, where you guys are just creating a very basic landscape. So as you can see in this image up here, I created a really simple landscape. What I have is a foreground, which is this grass. I have 3 mountains because 3 or 5 of things just look nice. So I'm doing 3 mountains, and you can notice that I duplicated those and flipped them, which I will be showing you. And then I created a sky, sun, clouds. A lot of these images that I created using that gradient tool, right? Because it gives you that nice light to dark. It makes it look a little bit more interesting than a solid color. Okay, so let's get started. It says opening a blank document. So let me just change this to fit so you guys can see it better. And it says click to launch Pixlr E. And I have this highlighted because there's 2 different types of Pixlrs that you can be working with. E is editor, so let me click on this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And E is editor. So here's the 2 Pixlrs that you can do. It's X and E. The cool thing about you guys is you are actually more advanced. So this is a better thing for you to do and to work with because it has so many more tool options available to you. This is more simpler. Do not use this. You don't need this. You guys will be able to handle editor just fine. So it says launch Pixlr E. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then remember, these are your tabs on the top of your screen, and you're going to navigate back and forth between your tabs to get your directions. So I go back here and it says step 2 is I need to create new, and my pixels are 1920 by 1080. All right, so I'm going to come back here and I'm going to click on create new. It defaults to full HD, which is nice. That's what you're using, 1920 by 1080. You want to name your document, right? You're going to name it who you are. So my last name is Farrell. You would name it your last name. And then the name of this project is Landscape. So you're going to name it Landscape. You want to change your background. This gives you that transparent, that checkerboard that oftentimes is difficult to work with. So by turning this little toggle on, it allows you to change the color of your background. I'm just going to use white. If you want to do something else, you can. I wouldn't encourage that. I would just do white. And then you press create, and now you have your white document to get started. So it says name, last name, landscape. I did that. On background, I made it white, and then I clicked create. This says refer to the screenshot to understand the order of your layers. Remember, the layer that is on top is in front of, and the layer that is on the bottom is behind. So as you can see, I have my sky layer all the way on the bottom, and you notice that my sky layer stretches the entire size of my file, whereas my mountains are just a little bit, and the field is just the bottom. When you're creating your mountains, it's really important that you keep the order of your layers correct, and the farthest mountain is the lowest. and the closest mountain is the highest, okay? And I labeled them mountain 1, 2, and 3, 1 being the closest and 3 being the farthest to help me with my layers menu. Creating your sky layer. This is again very similar to your Photoshop project. Number 1, in the layers menu on the right side of the screen, click on the plus side. So I'm going to come here, and here is my layers menu. And as you guys can see, let me move this on to the screen a little bit better for you to see. This is very similar to Photoshop. So before we even get started, feel free to kind of click on all of these menu bar options and notice that they are similar to what you're used to in Photoshop, which is great. We have filters, we have adjustments, which we will be using. Over here, really cool. Just like in Photoshop, when you click or you hover your mouse on one of these tools, it gives you a brief description of what they are. All right, so this is really helpful for you, okay? Then we have navigate. So this isn't really going to be helpful right now because it's a blank white sheet, but this allows you to zoom in and out of your image, all right? History, every time you do something with that click of that mouse, right, it's recorded over here. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is create my sky layer. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm clicking on empty, and these are all in your directions. And right now it's named layer 2, which is not very helpful. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to name it what I want it to be. And this is my sky. And then when I click back over here, you see how it's named it sky. All right. Now what I want to do is my mouse keeps doing this. Okay, I gotta come over here and do this. It's zooming in and out on its own. So over here is the color picker, which you guys are comfortable with using. And I'm gonna do a sunset for this one because I did more of a blue sky for the other one. So I'm gonna find an orange and a pink. Let's see what that looks like. All right, and then here's my gradient tool. And when I click up here, do you see how it's showing me my default and my foreground and background colors? If it's not, right, you can click up here and you can change it to be your foreground and background colors, which is always going to be this top left one. All right. So now if I do a short click and drag, it's harsh. If I do a long click and drag, right, it's a little bit more subtle. If I want to flip my colors, instead of dragging from top to bottom, I could drag bottom to top. Or I could come here and switch it in my color menu. I'm sorry, my color picker. Okay, so here I have my nice sunset. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to go back and see what my directions say. So it says in the layers menu, 3 dots to rename it sky, which we did. We used our color picker to pick the colors we wanted, and I used the gradient tool to drag it. So now it says creating your land layer. Again, I'm going to go very similar directions. I'm going to go and add my new layer, and I'm going to name it land, and then I'm going to pick the 2 colors that I want using my gradient tool. So here I go. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to make it empty. I'm going to click my 3 dots, and I'm going to name it what it is, and this is my land layer. You can name it field if you want, okay? And then I'm going to zoom out so it fits back on my screen. Here's my land layer. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to get 2 greens that I want for my land. So here's my 2 greens. Okay, I already have my gradient selected, but wouldn't you know, it's not changing for me. So I'm going to come up here, click on this, and then when I click that, it allows me to get the colors that I want. I'm going to click and drag, and I do want my lighter grass to be on the top because it's closer to the sky or the light source, right? And then the darker area is down here. Yes, this fills this whole space, and that's not good. So here it says click and drag to create your land. This should fill your page. To change the size, follow the below steps 12 to 17. So changing the size of the layer. So I left that blank because, right, we're going to be changing the size of all of our layers, our mountains, whatever it is that we want to add to our artwork. So it says in the layers menu on the right side of the screen, click on the layer you want to transform. So I want to make sure that my land layer is highlighted blue. Once it is, I'm going to go to Edit, Free Transform, and then take that bounding box to scale it the size that I want. Land is highlighted. I'm going to come up to Edit. I'm going to go to Free Transform. You can use Control R for your shortcut. And then I can just scale it to the size that I want. So I want my land to be about that high. And then I can press Enter and that bounding box goes away. If I'm losing some of that orange in my sky that I might want, I can always change the size of this. Oops. I can always change the size of this later to get more of that orange to come up if I want. Okay? All right. So now I have my sky and my land, which I like, and now I'm going to do the mountain, which is trickier. Creating your mountain layer. In the Layers menu on the right side of the screen, click on the plus sign, and then we're going to name this mountain. Oh wait, hi, sorry. So this is the fun part, distorting your mountain layer. All right, so it says at this point the mountain layer should be scaled to the size that you want. To create a pointed mountain shape, you can go to Edit, Free, Distort. So let's go up here and make our mountain layer empty, rename. So I'm hoping you guys are feeling comfortable with at least creating these layers, right? Because this is very similar to what we've done. And now I'm going to make my mountain layer. And I'm going to do my first one a dark green and another darker green. And I'm going to get my gradient again, make sure it's the one that I want, and I'm going to click and drag. That's not much of a variation in color. That's a little bit better. Again, I'm going to do Edit, Free Transform, scale it to the size that I want, move it below my land, right? And then I'm going to come up to Edit and Free Distort. And then just like you guys are used to, I can kind of pitch this to create another shape. This is the best I can do with Free Distort. I can only take my corners. That's it. I can't do anything else. You guys are used to, you know, being able to kind of create curve shapes, all right? That doesn't mean that you can't create a curve shape using your brush, but that's the best for my Distort. And now that I have this, I can come over here and I can duplicate this layer. And then I'm going to rename it so I don't get confused. And I'm going to name it Mountain 2. And then remember, in the orders, if I come back up here and look, Mountain 1 should always be on top. So this isn't in the correct order right now. So I need to drag this guy up, go to Mountain 2, because this guy's highlighted. I can come here and I can flip him, right? We've done this, transform, oops, so difficult to get to. And I can flip him so he's going another direction. And then I can move that guy down, and I can, if I want, I can make this guy a little bit bigger. I could even adjust him so he's different brightness and contrast by moving this over. So maybe it's further back. Under hue, maybe I want to have a little bit more of a atmospheric perspective kind of going on, right, where we get those blues and purple mountains off into the distance. So maybe this guy will be a little bit more blue. Okay, and then I'm going to duplicate this guy and put him below, right? Rename him so he makes sense. He's going to be number 3. And make sure he's highlighted. And I want to flip him. So again, I'm going to go to Edit, Transform. So hard to get to this. And flip it. And I might want to scale him so he's a different height. And adjust him under hue and saturation to be more purpley, to make it look like he's going off into the distance. and now I start having